who are not that familiar with me, although it should be many of you familiar with me. I am a beacon of light sent by God here on this earth to hopefully make an outstanding, big significance of a difference to all of you in your lives as you uh, take your journey in different directions according to what He has called or selected or placed you to do. I'm pretty much the person, the guider, the forefront centerpiece, the warrior, the advocate, the builder, the block changer, and all the necessities of the gifts that stand forth centered and that protects you and comfort you from the north, south, east, and west for those who are chosen. This is not for everyone, and this is not for the chosen that are already in their calling, walking their journeys, doing what God has elected and called upon them to do. This is for those of you who are not spiritually inclined and is learning and is afflicted and is hurt and wounded and need that significant bandage marinate across their spiritual well-being so that they can get up and rise. And so let us now start this. And I want to start this out a little bit different. I'm sorry, I'm sucking on a cinnamon stick. Well, not a cinnamon stick, but a cinnamon hard piece of candy. I just got out the hospital yesterday where I stayed for 4 days, and I tell you, these journeys and trips to the hospital is, and my most high God has already told me that is all over with now. There is nothing else to do but walk through this door that He has for me. You know that door? Walk through that door and receive the blessing that is waiting on me. Not the blessings that I'm waiting on, but the blessings that are waiting on me. And so that is what I'm doing now. I'm getting ready to enter into that door and I'm getting ready to stand up to these blessings that are there for me, for all the triumphs, for all the stumbling blocks, for all the steadfast, for all the uh, um, dedication, for all the tears that fell, for all the prayers that went out, for all the support that lifted up others, for all the support that put a smile on a person's face, no matter what their situation was. Me, me, the person that went through, and excuse my language because it's not meant to sound vulgar, but for the person that went through hell and high waters and swam back to shore and did not drown and climbed the highest peaks of the mountain and fell right back down to calmer waters. And for me to be in my calling, I was not ever, ever supposed to have walked into my calling, but it was meant by destiny that I made it into my calling. Had I not walked into my calling, merciful Father, be that the world would not have been sustained or standing as it is now, or continuing to stand even far after I am gone. I am a spiritual warrior. I am a spiritual advisor. I am a spiritual teacher. I am a spiritual covenant. I am a spiritual covenant connection for those who need that too. I am also the beacon of light that God sent into this world that I would be able to guide and hopefully assemble. Uh, um, if I do it correctly, I will be able to guide and hopefully assemble your spiritual connections. Now, I got to put it that way, your spiritual connections into the right directions. But let me tell you, there's many of things to stand before, many of things to stand between you and I and the mission of the journey that God had on my life to get to you. Blessed be the name of the Father that it has been one tough, hard journey to get to you guys, to connect with you guys, to stand before you guys as I am standing before you now. Yeah, I know I'm not looking like a hot piece of tissue at the moment. I just got out the hospital, and it seemed like those trips to the hospital was being more and more assertive as I kept going into respiratory exertion for COPD, ear masturbation, and chronic allergies and asthma, air emancipation, meaning air emancipation, meaning that you're not getting any air circulating in the lungs, you are not getting air coming into the lungs, and you are unable to push air out of the lungs. And when that happens, you can easily go into cold blue and not come out of it. One of the results that they do like to do is try to flip you on uh, um, the respirator. You know, flip you, I guess, bottom size up or however they do it to get to hopefully get the oxygen moving around that way. But unfortunately, well, it is fortunate. Fortunately, I have not had to have that happen to me. I've came so close to it happening. But my God is good. My God is good. My God is good. And so, even though I lost everything, and I did a video about that a while back, I went into the hospital. I was in the hospital for 10 days, got out of the hospital, and when I got out of the hospital, and the ambulance had to take me back to where they picked me up from because I did not have a car or anything. And so once I got back there, the girl that I was living with did not want them to bring me to the premises because he was taking all of my things, but I didn't know that at the time. But anyway, she told them that I was on a gurney. I would not serve any purpose of being up in her house on a gurney, and she was packing to move out, and she didn't have lights, and she didn't have this, and then, but she had everything when I went into the hospital. And so, anyway, it kept the video kept playing and playing and playing and playing in her mind that everything was good and stuff like that, but it's not good. I haven't made it to file destruction of property charges on her, but she can believe that she's getting ready to have that filed on her because you cannot do what you want to do to somebody else's property. That's against the law. It really is. Look it up. Don't take my word for it. You know, these people have you stand with them, and then because you stay with them at the spur of the moment when they money done ran out and you still got a little bit of money and you did everything that they required and asked you to do as your stay there. But when they run out of money, weed and this and that and the other, low budget smokers that can't support their weed habit from the cannabis or whatever you call it, then they want to start eyeballing you and what you got left. No, it doesn't work like that. And because what I got is of God, and what I obtain is from God. And so you can't just dip over here because you're looking at me like being a little nobody because I'm basically homeless and I'm right in alignment of where God want me to look homeless. He want me to appear homeless. He want me to be homeless. He want me to look misfit. He want me to look out of place. He want me to look as though I need all the help in the world because I certainly have, baby, giving it out. And so, hallelujah. Yes, yes, yes. He wants me to look like this because he's saying he's getting sick and tired of being sick and tired of being invited to these houses for dinner. But when he show up, they close the door in his face because they looking for a king by night. They looking for somebody with some dreads that got a lot of money to peel back or make it rain with a lot of money. They looking for somebody flashy or classy or driving hot cars and this and that and the other. And here you got God showing up as the form of a woman or the form of a child or the form of this or the form, you understand what I'm trying to say with this, where I'm getting with it. Showing up in every way in the eyes that the eyes can hold other than what you want. It ain't your action. It ain't your piece of pie. It is not your power or authority in favor to have anything the way you want it. It's only how God want to give it to you. So when He sends somebody over there looking misfit, looking beat up, chewed out, sitting in the gutter and no clothes, I lost everything twice now because this same lady, well, not the same lady, but I just went to the hospital and sit and was in there 4 days this time. And out of this time, because I shared that story with her, this lady did the same thing. Now she has way more to lose because she's running a what is it, a room and board and a boarding care. She's running two things in one residence, but at the same time, it's a lot of things taking place inside the home, neglects and possibly endangering people's lives and making them sicker than what they were when they came there because of the things that they're doing inside the home. Like me, it's medically documented. So they tried to say that I was lying. You can say whatever you want. When that doctor speak out of their mouth that my health has been compromised and we got to work like heck to get Miss Woods up out of there. Sorry, that's my real name, but anyway, and however we can do it the quickest way possible, we need to make this happen. So they got to get me case managers, they got to get me housing navigators, they got to get me enhanced care, they got to document it every time I came into the hospital. It's always the same thing: heavy bleach, heavy pine salt. And then it went from heavy bleach to heavier bleach and heavier pine salt. Well, one thing that will really mess my breathing up, and that's the lack of air. They did not. Somehow they found out how to take their air conditioner unit and bypass my room and send all the air all through the house. Yeah, this from the needles and stuff like that. If you see little black marks and stuff, the needles. Them needles tear you up. When they get through with you, you look like just a beef, a piece of meat or whatever, laying on the table. That's all. Yeah, but anyway, they figured out how to bypass my room with the air conditioning unit. Me and my sister would be in there every day, all day long, burning up. And I just couldn't figure out why is it so hot in here. But if you step out and I couldn't do a lot of stepping out because I was so sick. But I had to glide with my walker because I do take care of a sister that is cerebral palsy. Say hello, Mary. Wave your hand. Yeah. So as her care care attendant and a person that's authorized fiduciary over her well-being and choices and stuff like that for her because she can't make any of those decisions for herself. Yes, it depends upon me heavily whether I'm sick or not to be able to somehow make it to the kitchen to fix my sister and I something to eat and glide back to the bedroom. Usually, our meals consist of some noodles, noodles and chopped up hot dogs, noodles and Polish, pork and beans and hot dogs, chili and hot dog, something really, really quick. Vienna sausage and crackers and stuff like that inside the room. Stuff that really is considered non-perishable that you really don't have to heat up no chili like you think you do. You really don't have to heat up no Polishes or no hot dogs or make bologna sandwiches or ham sandwiches and stuff like that. Then you're dealing with your chips and your dips and making meals out of that kind of food, and then making sure you're eating plenty of fruits, drinking plenty of juices, and lots and lots and lots of water. So that's how we were getting by. But is it necessarily healthy? Um, yes and no, because when you're eating individually like that, it have a tendency of not being very healthy. And so, you're not getting all of the four food groups at once. You're getting maybe one or two here and one or two there, something like that. But I couldn't figure out how did she do that. But the more, excuse me, the more she was ramping it up with the pine sol and the bleach, the more they were turning up the, I swear, it seemed like the heater. We live in Northern California. It is still hot here. We just had in the hundreds weather. You know what I'm saying? It's been really extremely hot here. And for her to do what she was doing, and then talking stuff about me as if I was nobody. Oh, she's a big liar. Don't listen to her. She's running around telling these lies. She's doing this. She's doing that. But God fought my battles himself. He said, before I let any of this take place, it won't be anybody left in this house. They were leaving there so fast, and they almost ran over me to get up out of there. I don't know what they were doing. But the old lady that lived right in the next room next to mine, she ended up in the hospital. And when she left going to the hospital the very next morning, I kept seeing her stuff in the hallway. And then it went from the hallway and closer to the living room and made it to the living room and made it in the back and this and that and the other. But I still didn't really understand what was going on. And so I guess it was my turn. She said, "You've been very, very messy telling these people that you don't uh, you don't have a care worker." And I said, "And I don't. I care for me and my sister. I don't have a care worker, and my IHSS has not been established in Sacramento. My IHSS was established in Stockton, and they didn't do an inter out of county transfer. It's cut it off." And she got so mad and so upset. And she said, "Well, I'm giving you till so and so to be out of here. And if you're not out of here, then I will come in that room and drag you and all of your stuff up out of there and put you in the living room." I said, "Well, that must have been what you had in mind of doing to the old lady." I said, "But unfortunately, I'm not that old lady." I said, "And not only that, you can't set stipulations like that, and I done paid you my whole rent. My rent is not due again until the first of next month." And so it got me by last month. So this month, by them ramping and suppressing everything and the gravity and how the lungs work, the respiratory problem, all that working against me. I held out as long as I could. With all the things that they were doing to me, I held out as long as I could. But after that, it wasn't no hanging out anymore. I couldn't hold up I couldn't hold up the blood stains anymore behind that. And what I mean by the blood stains, the Christ in me, I couldn't hold up and stand up like I could from the beginning because I had too much at stake and I had another person outside of myself codependent upon me. And all I was doing was getting sicker and sicker and sicker. And so God was blessing me through a young lady that I met 3 months ago, living out here in motel to motel. The young lady, she very much took a liking to me and my sister, and has really been adequately helping us out for this last 4 months. And so she happened to just call, and I was telling her what was going on. She said, "We got to get you up out of there." She was getting ready to get me a motel. That's how adequate she has been in helping us. She would get me a motel, and then I'll pay her the money back, and then I'll put my own money up there. And if I run out of money, then she'll put her money back up there, and then I'll just pay her when I get my money. That's how she's been keeping me or helping me to stay in motels. And so, anyway, she was in the process of doing that. And I told her, I said, "I don't think I'm going to make it." I said, "I think I'm going to end up going to the hospital, but I'm just trying to see if I can just hold on until I could just get back into a room. If I could get back into a room, then it would be easy for me to bounce back because I don't have the hard chemicals, the smell, and I don't have the air that the lack of air that I had to deal with. If I could get back into a nice motel, and so she was trying her best to get me back into one, but no, that night it all hit. And when it did that, I got to back up just for a minute here. It did that like 2 or 3 weeks before this, before the 14th, the 13th. But when it did it, there was no oxygen moving around in the lungs, and there was no oxygen going into the lungs, and there was no oxygen coming out of the lungs. And usually, when it's like that, it's a full emancipation process going on. But somehow, I was able to personally breathe, which is when you're breathing in through your nose and pushing it out very slowly like a fish through your mouth. You're breathing in through your nose. You barely see your nose move, and then you're pushing it out. The only thing you see is the chest rise. When you breathe in, the chest is going to rise, and then you breathe out. That's why they call it personal breathing. But anyway, I did that a couple of times, and everything regulated back to the same. But it did that twice on me. And that second time, it started raising alarmings for me to pay attention to the signals. The signs was there and the signals. And my right foot kept swelling like a club or something. It was just swelling really, really bad. And I was like, wait a minute, usually that's a stroke or a heart attack. And then every time I checked my oxygen level, my heart rate was fine. And so it wasn't none of that. It was the fact that I was getting ready to have an acute acute respiratory attack, which is really an acute respiratory failure, is what it's called. Let me tell it like it is. And so I was trying to get me healed enough to get up out of there, and I just didn't make it. I ended up back in the hospital. Each and every trip that I have made to the hospital have been very devastating, life threatening, life. The paramedics. I think the third time they took me to the hospital. Let's see, first time I stayed in there for 5 days, and then I went to the emergency room part with my sister, and then I came back, and then I went again, and they treated me, and I stayed, and then I came back, and then this other time they kept me there because it was the wheeze and everything was there, so yeah, they had to keep me to get that to get me somewhat halfway situated again. I'm not all the way there when this happens. It takes a lot out of you. It's like a person dying, and they resuscitated that person, and they put them on the respirator, and your organs and everything has to come back to life. It's kind of like that when you go through emancipation, because you ain't get no oxygen into the bloodstream. You're not getting no oxygen into the lungs, and you're not pushing no oxygen out of the lungs. So you're almost a vegetable. Everything from the brain is just barely hanging in there, to keep from being classified as a vegetable. That's all. That's it, and that's all. And so, well, after the girl got the lion and everything, and the Most High God spoke and said, "No, you will not tell a lie on my daughter. You tried to take her life. And do you think I'm going to sit here while you have tried to take her life and smear her name on top of it after all that she's been through in this world, after all that she's done for this world, and at any time all she got to do is cry out? She the one won't cry out. She the one won't ask for the help of the angels. She the one won't do this. She the one won't," which is very true. Very true, because I'm on this mission. I'm looking at my stripes. I'm looking at my wings, and I'm looking at the things that I can accomplish, and you know, have in heaven with all of this, because you can't have anything here because you came here too far advanced. So you don't want no worldly things. All you setting up for is up there. And you gotta leave here and go back up there. So it's never any competition here. It's never any mediocre as far as trying to get people to look at you for the cloud, or trying to win stripes, or trying to win a person's whatever you could possibly win here, because I win spirits. I work with spirits. I don't work with anything but spirits. I've never lifted up a soul into the kingdom of heaven. I have lifted up all spirits, and a spirit only weighs 2.5 ounces. That's what a spirit weigh. Because it is just like if it's ice cold outside and you go, and that myth comes out that mouth, that is spirit. So spirit ain't got no business weighing y'all. No, it is not like that. But you guys don't know. You would never get that part. I get that. I get that you don't even really get me. Some things I talk about, you have, it just goes straight over the rain top, and then it drops on the ground. And as it drop on the ground, you might pick it up and stick it in the ear, and it comes out the other side. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the truth of the matter is, you just have a hard time listening to me or understanding me because you don't know what I'm talking about. In due time, the Most High God will shower His blessings upon the whole world, that these conversations that I'm having now will soon be understood, because every ear is going to have to open, and every eye is going to have to be set, and every knee is going to have to be bowed down if you want to survive what's getting ready to come next. Now they ramping up a lot of things here, and I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, or you just so strung out with the everyday things that they're coming at you with. And no, no, baby, they ramping it up because they fighting for the position that they lost a long time ago, and they still ain't won anything, but they so convinced that they have. It's just a handful of people that know that judgment is, and I ain't even gonna say judgment. Judgment is the wrong word for that. That's just a, a, a method, a methodical statement that shouldn't even have been exerted when it did. So it has nothing to do with that. What it has something to do with is the chosen ones now. It's the rulers that was here from the beginning, that had to go back into the kingdom of heaven after sending the 1/3 of the angels out with Satan, Lucifer, shall I say, with Lucifer, because his name is not Satan. Oh, it's known his name only became Satan when he came down here acting and claiming turf of building his kingdom here or whatever. But anyway, no. The correct answer is we are the rulers of this planet, and we are beginning to, everything is aligning, and we are beginning to come back into the alignment as the actual and the true rulers of this planet. Now, let me keep it as plain and simple as that. Now, is there any information or truth to this that's pointed out in the text? No, it will not be any. Well, how could it be that? If they took very good, close attention and close, if they took very careful moves and close attention and close attention to details, and to wipe you completely out, erase your memory, have you thinking that you too many different nationalities for number one. But having you thinking that you somebody, but whoever you is in thought that they got you thinking that you a little bitty person. When you just great big person. You just need to know how to set your chakras toward the Most High God, and when the sun is out during the day, and how to allow Him to take His radiance from His light and beam it back into your alignment of the vertebrates, and give you that power that you need from the back, or that covers the whole DNA trend when that happens, and send all of the powers into the hands and the feet. Don't you know? Don't you know that we as people, however you want to call us, colored people, black people, melon people, or whatever you want to call us. Do you know we cannot walk across grass and the grass not burn and not lead eventually wivel up, like use the lawnmower or something and trample on it, and that grass die and make a path? That's what we do. Because there's power in the feet, and there's power in the hands, and most importantly, it's power in your mouth. But you got to understand what's going on with this power. See, it was never meant for me to walk in to my blessing, but I couldn't be stopped, and I couldn't be trampled with. And then one thing happened. I stepped into that calling because I was in it from the beginning. It was my calling to be where I am in the alignment. Woo! Gracious, gracious, gracious. Glory to the Most High God. It was meant for me to be where I am today. I am the only beacon of light sent to this world to bring you the truth of the glory in heaven of the heavens. Heavens, not heaven. Heavens before you get to that heaven. And bring it all to your remembrance. To open your eyes and your ears and your mouth, to allow you to let it all sink in and bring it back into focus. And baby, it's been a long journey. I was beaten, I was stoned, I was scattered on the ground like I wasn't nothing. The only thing they had to do was take their foot and put it on my head and suppress me in the dirt just a little bit, and I'd have suppressed in it. But God didn't let it happen. He didn't let it happen. He tried to wipe away my memories of it because I was broken. I was so broken. I was all by myself. I'm taking all of these beatings and all of these storms and all of these deserts and all of these laybacks and setbacks and stumbling blocks and everything else, all by myself, standing up. And I was beginning to whistle. I was beginning to fall. And when I fell, when I went to the hospital, 5 days ago, I dropped my cross. And that was it right there. Once I dropped that cross, and the way I was acting behind dropping that the spiritual cross of carrying this world, oh my God, my father had to really talk to me. He had to really, really, really talk to me. He had to calm me down because I'm like, Father, I dropped my cross and I need help. I need help picking it back up. Calm down, calm down. You have not dropped your cross. Your cross will be with you when you make it where you're going. It is not going anywhere. You will still stand that same test of time, under that same alignment, under that same journey, because it's all in divine timing, my daughter. Nothing will ever be taken from you. Nothing will ever be shaken from you. Nothing will ever be mistreated, misteached, or mistaught, or mismanipulated, lied on, abused on, and hated on. And none of these things that they took from you, from those beatings that you took and subdued, will ever stay gone, because they are all coming back, because you are now in your power. You are now finna open that mouth that I gave you. And when you open it wide, it's just gonna, and it's just gonna talk. I just wanna talk about the goodness of my God. I, I, I just wanna tell you that there is a light. There is a light at the end of this tunnel. There is healing before I get to the light. There is resurrection and restoration for all the things that was taken to me. Now some of these things were taken and buried, so we got to have the resurrection. But many of these things were taken and they ended up getting tarnished because they need to be restored, because they tried to wipe out my memory, tried to help me forget who I am, tried to help me forget what I came here for, tried to help me think, look, God don't love you. Why is you living like this? And everybody that was living like this when you were coming up, they're living where you should be. And they're trying to I surpassed it all. I, I am surpassed it all. So yes, I've been through the storm. I've even dipped into the water so deep. I went to the mountaintops and I slid back into the valley where I'm standing as a David, and I'm beating the heck out of Goliath, because there is, there is no win here except to be by God. And so everything that was taken from me is being returned back to me as I speak, as I speak. Yes, as I speak. I did not bring any of these things upon me. I did not do anything but what I was told to do, and I did it gracefully. That is why I could not yell out. That is why I could not complain. That is why I had to do this and had to do that and to go this way and go that way. And I, um, Ooh, one happy person, one happy person. Yes, one happy person. I gotta find my song in there. It's one of these videos down here. Yes, it is. So that's one of my favorite songs, really. And when I did that song, I am not supposed to even be here. I was never supposed to walk into my calling. Never. And then I had to start asking for these prayer warriors on the channels. Not this channel by itself, but on all the platforms. Hey, check it out. I need your help. And it just really touched me to know exactly just how many prayer warriors are on these platforms. You will be surprised. Surprised. I'm telling you. It is more of us than it is them. Believe it. It is more of us than it is them. Yes. To stand back on that word and suppressing it and won't buckle until that prayer is made it through. Now you got some that, people just do, and they are what they are, and it's okay too, because they learn and they got to get where you are. We didn't get where well, I can't say that about me, but they got to get where you are. Some people, it takes a little longer for them to get where you are. Some people, they got to go through a little bit more triumphs and tribulations before they get there. It's all kind of ways and all kind of reasons. I had to look up there. They were like, "What is that?" Yeah, but yeah, it takes some longer. That's all. Longer than others, but we're all headed in the same direction, feeding in to that one source. It is only one source. It looks like to the world and the way you've been programmed and manipulated and stuff like that. It looks like there's a lot of sources, but there's not. There's only one source. They like for you to think that there's a lot of sources. There is only one, and his name is the Most High God. And I was getting ready before I started going through all of these turmoils and visiting the hospital back and forth for the 5 times that I've been in there back to back to back in 2 months, or shall I say 3 months. 3 months now, but yeah, I was getting ready to do this, and I'm still going to do it. I said I was going to do it on the 1st of October on TikTok, and the video is going to be international. Well, I can't think of my Pakistani friend's name. He's so gifted. He is. He's very gifted and very very young. Very young to have such a passion for the Lord. It just melts me how he has his hunger for God. It reminds me of me. But anyway, in my younger years. But anyway, we are getting ready to host a international revival with sharing the goodness of the Lord in different nationalities and different languages. I'm assuming as other people want to uh, 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 log on as guests on that channel for that day, they are certainly more than welcome, because the point of the matter is you are to interact with one another and try and figure out, as you connect your information of what you were taught when you were growing up with the information that the next person was taught, because his father, his Most High God, may not be Most High God. It could be Buddha. It may not be Buddha. It could be Farrakhan. It may not be Farrakhan. It could be um, uh, Jehovah. It may not be Jehovah. It may be whatever it is, whatever they choose to call. One thing about it, he is the Most High God, because you ain't getting now another God outside of him. Now, you can call him, he is the God of many nations. He is the God of many nations, and he is the God with many names, because he is the God of many nations. Now, stop with the shenanigans and the reveries of thinking that what you was taught and what you think you don't know nothing. Jack diddity what? Because I don't know everything, and I did come from up there down here. And all things were not passed to even I, just like all things were not passed to Lucifer when he was up there. But he thought that what was passed to him was enough for him to overthrow God. Oh, I'm sure that is what he thought. But he forgot about the fleets. He know we don't roll in those these the transportation. They done got all blind sided with that too. Come on. Now you coming from heaven here, and you ain't got the abilities through the powers and authorities that you have from being up there coming here to have something way nicer than what's here. Just stop. Stop it. The fleets is no joke. They can't compete with the fleets. What can I do to them? You're thousands and thousands and thousands of light year more advanced than they are. And if you choose not to use your fleet, that's up to you because you can go within. You ain't got to use no fleet. Well, let me shut up. Might be talking a little bit today. They want to suppress and let's get her again. She talking to me. I am I really? I'm not talking enough now. Now I'm really gonna be talking. Cause you had all that time to do what you was gonna do to me. It's over with now. It's a wrap. Now watch what I do to you. I'm gonna make you look so sweet. I'll make you be the mannerable kitty or puppy or whatever in the heck you want to be that you should have been from the beginning. I'll make you look so sweet. I am. I am. I bet you I am. I really am. I'm gonna do it to you. Yes, I am. You won't be getting your legs pulled off. You won't be getting your arms pulled off. You won't be getting your head separate or anything like that. No. But what you will be getting is a good reading. You will be getting a good reading, and you will be getting a good eye from that time forward also. So it'll be less likely for you to ever try to do anything again that's hurtful to anyone that are not your willing participants. Because see, it started out being willing participants, and then it went from being willing to unwilling participants, and then that's when the Most High said we can't continue to, you know, we can't keep going through this here. This got to end, and it's going to have to end soon. So yes, I don't know. I know before when I got on here, I had some. I said, "Welcome to the chat. Remember to guard your privacy." Okay. There was people in this chat the last time I was in here. I don't know what I get in here and I get to doing things and. I don't see anybody but me in here now. And then it says top fans. I hate digging around stuff. What do that mean? Top fans. Be the first in the leaderboard. Oh, no, something else. Well, I guess I better leave that alone, huh? That is definitely something else. What is this here? Learn more, huh? What's this? Start a poll. No. See, there I go messing with stuff. I don't know. Where's my people? Where's anyone? What did I do? Community guidelines. I want to go here, but then I'm scared. Oh, this sending this somewhere else. I don't know where that's going. I need to come out of there. I don't know. I know it's only me on here from what I'm seeing. What's this here? Well, whatever that is, I think I better leave. Oh, let me stop. Let me stop. Let me stop. I'm over here. And I do that, and then I get kicked off of here, and then I got to come back on here, and I do need to quit. And yes, I got a hospital gown on because I'm so sick. And then they had to pack everything while I was in the hospital because I forgot to mention that the girl, one of the one of the staff, the main staff that tried to act like she was the landlord, and then there's a landlord after them, over them, this kicking them out. You know, this is why they're in such a big hurry to leave, because when a lawsuit is threatened upon somebody from authority, yeah, their job is to make sure whatever you're doing to bringing that heat down on them, you got to go. That's the bottom line. So, yeah, they got to leave. All that stuff they tried to do to me backfired on them. That's what I'm saying. And so now my name is one of the haters, and it's really gonna be the haters' name, once I can figure out how to get my channel back. I was on the road with my channel and everything, and then um, I thought um, I thought on my channel I'm supposed to be getting the super chat and all that stuff, but I think I still got a ways to go or something. I'm not sure. I know it wouldn't let me get it, and it said usually when it doesn't let you, it's because you got quite a little ways to still go. So, but it said that I had something. I know I had got those subscriptions, and it wasn't but 500, and I was supposed to gotten something from that, and I'd got nothing. So I don't know, but I can go a little bit longer or whatever I'm supposed to be doing on my channel, because what I'm trying to do is build my channel, allow my channel to grow, and also uh, 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 continue to allow it to grow and continue to do commerce, revenue, and all that stuff on it as well. You know, making money while I'm creating. So that's exactly what I'm trying to do with this here, because it definitely take money for those apps that they always want you to update and try and this and that and the other, and to be just as compatible as everyone else. And yes, I'm starting out with this, and yes, I'm kind of learning this and kind of learning that, but it ain't that hard to learn everything, that's for sure. And I noticed a lot of things about a phone is different than a tablet or a computer, which I had two tablets, and I lost them. Yeah, but um, I know that the phone doesn't always show the tools like you would be seeing them on a tablet or a computer, you know, so it's kind of a little struggle there. But eventually, I guess you can make it work. But something is definitely wrong with my channel, because I should have gotten three things off of here. I think I was supposed to be doing the super chat and the what is it? The super thanks and the super chat and the the program thing. I can't think of what it is. The partner, something the fan partner or something similar to that. So I don't know what happened to it, but and then it probably just took too long because they got this date on there, or last month date, and I'm like, last month? This was in July when this happened. So what the heck? Huh? And then I kept trying to put videos up here. You know, everybody loved my God videos, and they kept copywriting and copy striking my God videos. And so I'm like, okay, well, let me see how they like this. Let me do them like I do TikTok when TikTok wants to play. And so I just started talking from me, because I don't really need the templates to talk or anything like that. I just started talking from my heart, and started allowing the Most High God to speak through me, and that's what He's been doing from day one anyway. And so as I started doing that, then I guess it kind of calmed down a little bit when I put those three videos up there. And so I went back up there and started trying to see if it'll allow me to grab some templates, and miraculously it did. So I said, okay, well, that'll work too. But right now I want to put up a live, do a live and post it. And I want my live to be about the Most High God and the goodness of the Most High God. And I want everyone to know why I'm doing this live. And so, you know, God is good all the time, not sometime, not in between time, but all the time. And sometimes the things that He has aligned for you, He has them aligned specifically for that specific time, because of all the protection and all the other things that you, the hoops and the loops and everything else, you got to go through to get to that alignment to go through the door. These things are carefully designed and put in place for you. It's not that God taking anything from you. It's not that He's rebuking your name. It's not that He's stripping things from you or anything like that. He know that you're going to fulfill the obligation. But the test is, will you give up before it's fulfilled? That's the test. Will you holler? Will you give up to the enemy? will you come running into the hands of it? You know, so many of us trade ourselves for that. We do. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. I am getting thirsty. Hold on a minute, please. I'm just about done with this video. It's another 4 minutes. I'll be done with it. If you're the detective, Pablo, the name's Pablo. Pablo, if you're here to tell me, and my throat getting scratchy because all I'm doing, I'm not used to just talking after being in the hospital for 4 days and barely could talk, and then spend one day laying around here, which was when I got out yesterday. Today is my fifth day. Uh, well, my first day actually at home. Well, at my sister's, because I, once again, of course, don't have a home yet. But I got a home. I got a home, but I don't have a earthly home yet because God hasn't uh, 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 aligned it up as so where He wants me at this given time. He has me here for a reason. But my home could be anywhere. I don't know where He has my home. I'm not going to sit here and say I do because I don't. But I assure you that it's bought and paid for already. Imagine that. Yes. And so I'm all ready for my assignments to take new heights and new leaps and really start connecting that electricity and that power to individuals' spirits. I'm all ready for that. Yes, I am, and I will be doing interviews soon. I will be doing Q&A also, but I got to get my channel set up a little more before I can start swiveling into all that stuff. Um, and I thought I really had it, but dang, I still, if I had 1,000 subscribers, that would be good. And then I need that, what is it, the 1,000 um, watch time hours or something like that. My views and stuff been doing good. I don't understand it. It's this. I can't even say it. Well, I don't know because I took in some very good views for the month of August and September. No, until they started messing with my templates, and then after that, I was kind of confused for a moment. And then I said, the next time I go on there, because I do have other platforms, I said the next time I go on there, I'm just going to do them like I do on all the other platforms. I'm just going to be me with my authentic self and speaking from my heart like I've always done. And so let's see, will they be copyrighting that? And so, no, I didn't, of course, have any problems after that because I don't have a problem at all speaking the truth. Never, ever do I have a problem speaking the truth. Never, ever do I have a problem giving the Most High God His props, His credits that He is due. Never do I have a problem magnifying, glorifying His name, lifting up His holy name. I never have a problem praying for individuals and never. I've never had any of those problems. So I'm trying to feel accepted and feel myself through these platforms and trying to see what I can do and what I can't do, what I can say, what I can't say, what should I say, and how should I say, how do I, it just doesn't matter. Just say, just go out there and say what the Most High God have you to say and forget the rest. That's how I look at it. That's how I've been looking at it. That's how, I mean, the templates is nice too, but when it gets to the point where you can't even use the CapCut templates and you pay for CapCut, every month, that $19 and something is not cheap when you already have necessities that you could been applying that $19 and something to besides CapCut. And you come on here, and it's only on here that you come on here and your stuff is getting copyrighted. So, I'm like, what in the world? I felt like it was all for nothing. And God said, nope, don't get, hold on. It ain't over with until I say so. Hold on. This is what you gonna do. You go back. You go back and grab another video and just look for a minute. Take your time, look. And if you don't see what you're looking for in that video, then you open your mouth and speak like you've been doing. That's exactly what you do. You're a guider. You don't need the template. You done got so comfortable using the templates to where you think the templates edify anything. They edify nothing when it comes to me. All that edify me is the spirit that you have reaching out to my spirit when you open your mouth and allow me to speak through you. That edifies me. So, yes, yes, it's what it is. So, yeah, and I guess I got a lot to work with here. I got a big, little kind of big box over there. I only got a little clothes, but I do have some clothes to where I can look decent. But the thing of it is, my body is weak and it's all. I don't know if I even want to do. It might take me another week before I can really start fixing myself up. If you guys can, you stood seeing me like this for so long. If you can go another week, I will certainly appreciate it because yeah, I can get my clothes washed every day because they do have a wash and dryer and stuff like that. My little gown thing here, and then I think I got a yellow one in there, so I can kind of look fairly decent with those. But I don't know. It's weird. My thing is trying to be comfortable. They want me to rest as much as possible, get comfortable, rest as much as possible, and set time limits on me getting up, moving around. Don't be trying to rush into moving around. Take slow, steady, paced movements, and make sure that I'm not exerting myself to where I run into. And I kept doing that yesterday. I kept running into quite a few exertions when it came to going to the restroom and coming out of the restroom. Is what really got me. Going in there was never a problem, but coming out and you using all of those muscles and stuff in the bathroom and not setting your pace, and then by the time you got to walk back this way, you barely making it back to the bed. So yes, it was very exerting. It was. But right now, I'm good, and I'm going to get off of here. Peace, love, and light to each and every one of you. And as I always say on all of my other channels, because it is the truth, wisdom loves you unconditional, but just not in the bed. And always to the Most High God, who is the number one of my household and the head of my household. And to each and every one of you all over the world, I pray for each and every one of you that your needs are met, whatever those needs are, so long as those needs are met in solitude and nothing wavering and in holiness. And when you get to heaven, these needs that are unholy, no, of course I don't pray for those, but the holy needs. And so let me get off of here. That's it for now, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on my next video that I come up with. Love, please, peace, love, woo, and light. Yes. Woo-hoo. Bye.